We're going to talk now, Nicole, for a few minutes about gold. We've talked about it a number of times just this week, but let's bring up the price of gold and see where it's trading today. $12.79 an ounce, down a little bit, but on track at this point for its best week in about 2 years, almost 2 years. From Vegas, Jim Rogers joins us, chairman of Rogers Holdings, author of Street Smarts, Adventures on the Road and in the Market. So welcome back to you, Jim. Thank you for coming on. And we had Mark Faber on earlier this week. Oh, God bless you. What a start to the interview.
Thank you.
So we had Mark Faber on anyway earlier this week, and called in from wherever he was, probably I think Thailand. And I had mentioned to him, because you'd been interviewed somewhere and it was had just been posted, I said, Jim was talking about gold, and what do you think of it, at this point? He said, well, I'm going to buy on any weakness, because gold obviously has pulled back. Tell me why that's not the right thing to do, or explain what you're looking to do specifically in this market, gold.
Well, sure. Mark always buys gold. He says 25% of his net worth is in gold, so he's always there. My view about gold is I own gold. I haven't sold any gold. I bought a little more at $1,200 where I expect it to go. In my view, Connell, gold is in the process of making a complicated bottom, which it may, I guess it'll make a bottom sometimes this year or next, or maybe 2015. At which point, I hope I'm smart enough to recognize the bottom, and I hope I'm smart enough to buy a lot of gold.
How do you recognize it? I mean, what factors, not necessarily a prediction, but what factors do you look at that, and again, just sticking to this specific market, that you say, all right, now we're nearing where it's a point where that complicated bottom, as you put it, has been reached, and now I can get in and buy some?
Well, normally bottoms look somewhat the same. People give up. There's panic. There's desperation. They're throwing things out the window. They never want to buy gold again as long as they live. Connell, gold went up 12 years in a row, which is an anomaly. It's very strange. So I would suspect that the bottom that gold is going to make will be an anomaly, too. It will take longer than most. If gold went down 50%, that would be between 900 and 1,000. That would not be strange. Things go down 50% all the time, even in bull markets.
So you just, and that's the point where, as Mark was saying, you're right, he has been kind of a big gold guy anyway, so he's going to buy on that weakness, and you're saying, well, it could be a lot more weakness than we've already had. Let me shift gears a little bit and talk just about the market in general, and just get a sense of what you're thinking about, because we've had a lot. We obviously had the big run-up in stocks, and the Dow's above 15,000. You get all this euphoria starts to build up. I saw a headline right before it came down. I think it was actually on our own Fox Business website, said, oh, we're preparing for Dow's 16,000. So, oh, here we go. When you look out, what's your level of optimism versus pessimism now? Are you worried about something big? You think we kind of continue along the same way we've been? What's your mindset?
Well, I just want to go back to gold for 1 second about the bottom. There's still a lot of people, Connell, who have faith in gold. They're mystical about gold. They think it can never go down. Now, none of those people have given up. To set a firm bottom, we've got to have some of the true believers giving up and dumping their gold. Right. Then that would be the bottom. I hope I'm smart enough to recognize it.
We'll look for Mark Faber when he does it, right? Well, then we'll know.
Right. Well, I doubt if Mark ever would. But in contrast, we have the stock market now, where everybody's jumping in, everybody's delighted and happy, and they're talking about 16,000. I'm sure they'll be talking about 17,000 soon. So I don't like to jump on a moving bus or a moving train at all. I'm a little bit skeptical. I own some shares in the U.S. I have some shorts in the U.S. But as long as Mr. Bernanke is going to print money, stocks will probably be a nice place to be in the U.S. and in the world. He's
going to keep doing that, right? With all this, you're going to taper. We're all getting worried about what the Fed's going to do. But that easy money policy stays in place for a long time, don't you think?
He has said, Connell, and he said even back in May that, if things get bad, folks, I'll start printing again. Don't worry. Right. Now, this is the first time in recorded history, Connell, that all the major central banks, Japan, Europe, England, the UK, the US, we're all printing money, and it's a very artificial situation that's going on. The world is floating on a big, big lake of artificial money. But as long as it's there, some people are going to continue to have a lot of fun.
The risk assets go up. All right, well, let's go in a second. But the idea is at some point that ends badly. That's the bottom line. That's still if you with your outlook,
has to end badly.
Yeah.
Connell, it's always ended badly when you've had a lot of artificial money printing. There's never a time in history when it hasn't ended badly. And this time we have all central banks printing a lot of money, so it's going to end double badly or quadruple badly.
Just if you knew when, you'd be as rich as Jim, right? So that's the problem. That's like making a prediction is, unless you want to throw one out, feel free.
No, I have no idea. I would
Yeah,
suspect, and this is just I'm a terrible market timer, I would suspect that sometime by the end of this year or next, it will start ending, and then we will have a bad patch. It may just be a temporary bad patch because Bernanke will print more.
Right.
But certainly before the next election, next presidential election, this is going to be a big mess.
Fair enough. Jim Rogers, good to talk to you again. Hopefully we'll have you back on soon. Appreciate it.